they do their farming practices and how climate change is also affecting them. And lastly, we engage schools for the school and satellite projects sake.
So as David said, our focus was Ghana, particularly the northern part of Ghana. So Ghana is a country in West Africa. It has 15 regions, and we are focusing on the 5 northern regions, where most of the population rely on agriculture, and most of the agriculture is rain-fed. So Ghana has different climatological zones, and as you can see in these pictures, they are very different. The pictures are separated a few days. We took them when we were there. The left is in the south, so that's forest region, and then on the right we have savanna region. So you can see that they are very, very different, and the north is way drier.
Okay, our trip started on the 3rd of February, and we left Amsterdam with Sandra. It was a nice team, and the next day we were joined by Kwame, who is the director of TAMO, the project. And yeah, at the top right, you can see the visit to the Ghana Meteorological Agency. And yeah, we were hosted by the director of that institution. And down you can see we also visited IMWI, the International Water Management Institute, and IFPRI, the International Food Policy Research Institution. We also tried to visit University of Ghana, especially the Center for Climate Change and Sustainability Studies.
So then David stayed for a few days in Accra, and Kwame, Sandra, and me drove to Kumasi. We were on our way north, and we stopped in Kumasi for a night. And also we stopped at the Cocoa Research Institute of Ghana because we needed to fix a TAMO station. So from the pictures, you can see that we are entering an area that is more green. And I added the pictures on the right. Sorry, one question. Did you see the pictures on the right, or is it covered by Zoom?
Yeah, you can minimize the video.
Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, perfect. Okay, so the pictures of the right, I added them because I find it very interesting that I have never seen these things, and they are things that I use a lot. So the top right is cocoa. So actually that's where chocolate comes from. And the bottom right is a coffee field. So I drink coffee every day, but I didn't know what it looked like. And then David went to Kumasi.
Yeah, and while I was in Kumasi, I also tried to visit the Soil Research Institute to get some data from them, especially soil information on the northern regions. And I also found that special book written in 1940 about farmers in a changing world. And it just shows us that the climate change impact on farmers is not only a recent topic, but it has started very long ago. At the right side, you can also see my friend Edu, who is actually a member of the board of the International Association of Students in Agriculture and Related Science. So I stayed there with him in KNUST, the university, network with him so that in future, if we need any kind of student to work with on feed experiment or anything else, we can engage and try to get some from their network.
Okay, so while David was in Kumasi, we drove to Tuna, to the north. And on the picture on the left, you can see how it seems that the sky is full of dust. Actually, the first days I thought it was pollution, but then I learned that it's the Harmattan. It's a season that it lasts like 2 months. And it is actually sand from the Sahara Desert that is brought by the wind to Ghana. And yes, it's characterized by a lot of dust in the air, like you can breathe it. At the end of the day, you have your nose full of dust. And also it's very, very, very dry. And we saw many trucks carrying a lot of produce that can tell you how important farming is in Ghana. And also on the right, plantain, very typical from the rainforest, and palm fruit. So actually that's where palm oil comes from. And in the way we stopped at one school, also to engage them for the schools and satellite projects. And in Tuna, we met the head of the local schools. And that same night, we drove to Tamale. So you can see the colors of the sunsets there, and also plantain on the top of our car. And then a few days later, when we were in Tamale, David came from Kumasi to Tamale, and he met us there. So during these days, we visited the farmers we had been working with that are in those 3 pictures where Sandra is. We wanted to talk to them about their experience in working with us and so on. So then we could improve the experience for the future schools and farmers. We also talked to more farmers. We uninstalled the distros that I installed in August when I was there. And we also visited the Directorate of Education. So then they would give us the permission to go to the schools in Tamale. And in the bottom left, in the corner, you can see a picture of me with those hats. So they are interesting because that's where they store the grain that they produce in their farms. So for example, maize. And actually, it's very interesting because farmers there don't measure the yield in kilograms, but or whatever, but in that kind of measure. So either in buckets or hats. So how many of those can they fill? Then from Tamale, we went to Bolgatanga, which is in the north. And while we were there, we split. So Kwame and Sandra went to talk to schools. And David and me stayed there talking to farmers. In the left, you can see again all the dust in the air from the Harmattan. In those days in the north, it was especially strong. And then on the right is us talking to farmers and also the cows that are everywhere there. Yeah, so these are more farmers and also our transportation method there on the top right. So since yeah, since Kwame and Sandra weren't there then, and they had taken the car with them, David and me were moving around by Yellow, which is that tricycle. And yes, then we went back to Tamale, and Sandra and Kwame in one day did that tour, and we stayed there talking to farmers. We also visited some schools and the University of Development Studies. And then from there, we went to Wa. So it was road. And in the way to Wa, we stopped at the Mole National Park to do a 2-hour safari. So we had the opportunity to see some elephants and crocodiles and so on. And while in Wa, we visited schools and education directorates. We talked to farmers, and we also visited the Savannah Agricultural Research Institute study, with who we are working at the moment, and we will keep working. So that's David at the bottom right in a picture in Sari. From there, Kwame, Sandra, and me went back to the south because we were going to go back to Accra to fly back to the Netherlands. And David went from Wa to Tamale. And then the pictures on the left are vegetation. I was very surprised to see again all that green after having been in the north. And on the right, the top right is cooking by the road. So people cook there by the road and they sell food. Actually, it was very nice. We ate that. And in the bottom right is David in the Wa market. So that is one of the points where the farmers sell what they produce.
Okay. So they went back to Accra, and I left Wa also, but I went to Tamale, and from Tamale, I joined Nareligu, which is located in the Upper East region, to engage more farmers. And something surprising with that area is the number of women engaged in farming, and I was really amazed to see so many women engaged in farming. So they produce many crop, maize, sorghum, millet, and they add so many things. And mainly they also focus on some local knowledge to identify if the rainy season is coming or not, and these trees are also part of the local knowledge. And then I stayed in Nareligu for 3 or 4 days and engaged more farmers. At the top right, you can see the Dawadawa trees, which is very famous in the northern regions, because whenever you go, people will talk about the Dawadawa trees, which is a kind of sign for them to identify if the rainy season is coming. And I also engage more farmers. At the top left, you can see that in that community, they welcome us with that bottle of water, which is not that much safe in my mind. And yeah, but Abi, who was my interpret translator, drank the water and said it is important for them to feel like you are part of their lifestyle. If you don't drink this kind of water they are giving you, so they won't talk to you, they won't tell you anything that you want. So it's important for you to join their community, their lifestyle.
So you decided to drink it in the end?
I did it. I was scared because I had a diarrhea at some point for 2 days or 2 times, and Monica knows a bit about how difficult it was for me to feel sick. So I did it, and I explained to Abby that it was difficult. I couldn't because I am scared to get sick. So from Nalerigu, I went back again to Tamale, which is in the center. And from Tamale, I went to Nyendi, which is located in the northern region. And there I engaged again more farmers. And yeah, you can see the pictures there. And from Nyendi, at Nyendi, I also visited the senior high school, where there is a Tamo station, I think, and then also Sandra visited that particular senior high school, and they are also involved in the schools and satellite project. I talked to farmers, and I also met my friend with whom I study. I did my master in Senegal there, and he was also helping with moving around, visiting the farmers. I was not able to go on the farm because the farms were located very far from the main town, so it was difficult. And yeah, lastly, I left Nyendi to go back to Accra. And yeah, because of COVID, I was stuck there in Accra for some time and couldn't even go to Kenya for a conference. Yeah, so that's the story, sadly. Okay, so one of our objectives was to discuss with the research institutions, and mainly the purpose was to understand a bit more what is the ongoing project on climate change, water management, and those things. And while we were discussing with them, we also tried to collect some data, and we got some weather data, especially rainfall data, yield record. Yeah, but it is difficult to use the yield record because it is, let's say, regional or district yield record. So it would be difficult for us to use it in research. And we also got some soil information. They also shared some publication with us on the fall start studies and the dry spell, its occurrence, and how it affects the farmers there. And we also tried to build some new collaboration with the UDS and WASCAL, which is a center for climate change studies in West Africa, and it covers many countries in West Africa. So they are also willing to work with us and share their feed experiment land with us if we have any experimentation to do in the northern regions. So we also have the GMET and SARI relationship that we have already, and we need just to keep and better it.
David, this is the UDS and WASCAL. Where are they located?
UDS, there is one center of UDS in Tamale. We visited that one in Tamale, and there is another one in Navrongo and one in Wa. So they have 3 campuses. And the WASCAL is located in Bolgatanga, Upper East.
Okay.
And
all the
they
way
have
up in the northern regions then.
Yeah.
UDS is the University of Development Studies.
Yeah.
Yeah, UDS.
That has different campuses. So about the schools and directorates of education, we visited many all along the way and in every stop that we did. And the main purpose was to get them engaged in the schools and satellite project. So then they can measure rainfall for us, and we also can give them the educational material on climate change and the water cycle. They were very enthusiastic about the project and very much willing to join. At the end, we expect between 50 and 70 schools, but of course at the moment it is still uncertain what's going to happen or when it is going to happen because of Corona, but well, we will see.
Okay. One thing that we also realized during this trip is how important agriculture is for people in Ghana, but especially the farmers in northern regions. It is a vital sector for them because almost every household is engaged in farming, and for families, people used to start farming with their parents since their early ages, and once they grow up and they are grown now, they can get their own farms and farm for themselves. And I was also amazed by this picture on the left, where with the Muslim and Christian, we were praying before the starting of the interviews. And it's a nice picture because when you go to other regions of the world, they cannot, this kind of religion, they cannot stay together. But in Ghana, they were really working together. And I think agriculture is also one reason for them because they are all together in it. And when it's good for one, then it's good for everybody.
So something also that we saw is that they have very different situations. So, well, in the whole north, the most typical thing is to have problems with water, with not having enough water, but there are also some areas where there is irrigation. So for example, there close to Bolgatanga, there are some dams, around 3 or 4 very big dams, like the one that David is in the picture there. And yes, so they can have irrigation from the dams. They have some irrigation canals, sorry. And yeah, so they can bring some water to the land. This is, here you see the canal. So it's not in a they are not in a very good state, but at least they bring water. So that is the canal, and then all the farmland. So for them, farming in the dry season is possible, which is not for most people in the north. Then there is also irrigation from the White Volta River, so they can also have dry season farming. And indeed, this area is the area that I saw with the best agriculture, where they can be the most productive now in the dry season. So they were farming chili, a lot of onion, sugarcane, and so on. And as you can see, they are pumping water from the river. The river is very wide. It has a lot of water. And also, for example, all the cattle go to drink to the river. So yes, all the river is very important in this area. But this is not the case in most of the north. For example, here in Nua, there is some irrigation possible with subsurface water, and that allows them to have dry season farming, dry season gardening. Still, this gardening is very, very small. So they have some tomatoes and so on, but every farmer has a very small piece of land. And the water that they have is from the subsurface. So they dig holes like the one on the left. This one was about 2.5 meters or so deep. And then they get, they take the water from there with buckets and they use it for the farms. And then, for example, in Tamale, there is, where like kind of our central area, there is no irrigation at all. So they only have rainy season farming. And the picture there, for example, is a picture that was taken now. And it shows a very dry area. But a few months ago, last year, when I was there during the rainy season, that was all green. So it was a very, very big difference. Also, of course, we saw how reliant they are on rainfall. This is a woman from the area where they have dry season gardening. But even there, she was showing us how she had planted tomatoes, and then because there was no water, all the tomatoes had died.
Okay. One thing that we also tried to understand a bit with the farmers there, the communities, was the local knowledge about the climate. So we try to find out if they have any indigenous knowledge that they use to foresee the climate, the rainy season coming, or if there is any sign that let them know that, okay, now the rainy season is close and we need to start preparing and get ready for the growing season. And we mainly find that in every community, they have this kind of trees that they rely on. So they use either, so we find two main categories of plants. So there are plants that are trees that grows fruits, and the fruits mature when the rainy season is close. So when they start seeing the red fruits on the dawa trees, for instance, for them is a sign that, okay, the rainy season is close, and then they use that. They also have another type of plant, such as this one in this video, where the tree loses all the leaves during the dry season. So once they see that the tree start growing new leaves, then it is also a sign for them that, okay, the rainy season is close and then we need to get ready. Among other, they also have this local setting, such as locking down the cattle when the rainy season is closer. So when you see people locking down their cattle, is also a sign for them that, okay, the rainy season must be there and we need now to get ready. They have also some notion about the wind direction. We went to Palugu in northern east, and there is a farmer who said that, okay, when after the Harmattan we see that the wind is blowing eastward, is also a sign for us that, okay, the rainy season is close and we need to get ready. There is also that story about the sound wave. The sun used to travel far for that farmers when the rainy season is close. They also have some particular migrant, seasonal migrant birds that arrive only when the rainy season is close. So if it's not rainy season, you will never see the migrant birds, and when they come, okay, it's also the same for them. Apart from those signs, they also have some particular event, such as the funeral period. In the dry season, they have a particular moment, up to a month or more, even more, when people go to bury their dead, and during that time nobody goes to farm. So once the time that period has gone, then they know that okay, it's also time for them to start preparing for the rainy season. These are all local knowledge that they use, but they have all agreed on the fact that it is no longer reliable these days because of the climate change, and they need more and more reliable information on the climate.
Yes, so how could having more rainfall information help them? So I did some interviews to some farmers while we were there, so the farmers that we had already been working with, and this is a 1 minute, a bit over a minute extract of one of them saying how could having more rainfall information help them.
The sound? Fully?
You can hear?
No.
Oh, really? No?
No, it's not coming through.
Sorry, can you hear it?
Sort of.
Huh?
It's very quiet for me, but yeah, you can also just sum it up maybe.
Well, it's fine. Otherwise, I can just send it. Anyway, well, oh, it's a pity though. Oh well, I hadn't counted on that. Well, anyway, so he's saying how, of course, having rainfall information could help, because now it's a game of luck. If when they go to plant, it's going to start raining or not, because many times they go to plant, and then when it is raining, and then the rains stop. So at that point, if the crops are in a moment when they haven't matured yet, then they lose everything. So at this moment, since they don't have information, it's a game of luck. They don't know if they are going to be lucky or not. And so of course, if they have information about when it starts and when it ends and so on, it would be very helpful for them. But also something very interesting that we found is that they told us also that they could pass that information to the rest of the community. So if we had information that we could give them, then they could give that information to the rest of the community, because as we said there, everyone is a farmer. So yes, basically, of course, it would be very helpful for them. So that was all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Now the meeting is like it's going. 1 second. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. Okay. Hello. The meeting is going to finish in like less than 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
All right.
So yeah, well, that was it. Our trip.
Thanks for the presentation. It's really a nice trip, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, but also like you were saying on various of the slides, right? Always on the road, always on the road. It's amazing how much distance you covered. I mean,
I don't know, a lot. It was car. So yes, it was a lot of driving. And also at the beginning, I personally was sleeping very bad every day until I realized that it was because I was taking the malaria pills at night, and I should have been taking them in the morning, because they can make you like have many dreams and stuff. So yes, it wasn't, I mean, it is very nice at the end, and you learn many things, and of course we also had a good time, but it's not as easy as it seems with the pictures.
your impressions all look very beautiful, but
Yeah.
I'm happy you stayed more or less healthy then, you know, because it's so exhausting.
Yeah,
At least that,
yeah.
Yeah.
It is very exhausting indeed. But well, it was also
I
very
mean, the
nice.
impressions are great because you get such a good overview of the different landscapes and the people you talk to, the conditions they live in. I mean, the type of products that they grow, the trees, yeah.
Yeah.
Where did you find drinking water? Because you mentioned that you cannot always drink the water, the local water.
You should never drink the tap water. So you just buy water from a shop, like bottled water. That's the one that you
Okay,
can
so
drink.
you carry a lot with you.
Yes.
Sandra,
have to
Sandra
produce a
had the
lot of
big
waste.
bottle. Sandra had a big bottle of water. I think it was 20 liters, and she used to carry it everywhere.
Wow, well, it's
Yeah.
good for exercise, I guess.
Yeah, but indeed you can't drink the water there. And a lot of places don't even have running water. Like, of course, the places where we stayed at, yes, but the communities that we visited, most of them don't. So yes, you need to buy water.
But the locals can drink the water.
They
Yeah, they do.
do.
They do.
Well, I don't know. Last year when I was there, I was staying in an Airbnb with 2 locals, and they also didn't used to drink the water. They used to buy water. So I think that it depends also if you can afford it.
Right, if you have the choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Indeed.
But probably you build up some resistance if you drink it. Like really, the people are used to it.
Yeah, the thing is that it's not only about it's not only about all the bacteria that it can have, but also that it can carry diseases.
Mhm.
And I guess that like for the diseases such as I never remember the one that is transmitted through water. No, I don't know. Like for the diseases, I don't think that you can gain resistance. Like I guess that they are bad for everyone.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I
but
think really
yeah, go
that
ahead.
they at some point they built some resistance against those things, because the village where I was, they used to drink that kind of water every day. So, but I'm sure they are not sick every day on a daily basis. So they have built some resistance. And I also think that Camille also was there and had some experience with the northern Ghana. Camille? Oh,
No, sorry. No, I never went to Ghana.
oh. Tamo, I thought you were there also.
No, I went to Madagascar.
Oh, okay.
That's a nice place to go to.
Very nice. But then again, you buy your water.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's.
Well, the meeting is going to finish in less than a minute. So
Next time, Marika will set the meeting, because you only have 45 minutes, and then sometimes it's not.
Well, I had it only once. I'm not sure they're going to offer it next time. But in any case, we can always restart in case,
yeah,
like for the score meeting, right? We can always restart.
Yeah.
So.
I had actually scheduled another one in case we didn't have time to present, but now I think that we have presented and everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks very much. Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Take off our minds of the, the other stuff.
Okay, I'm happy it did. Okay, thank you.
Right.
Bye.
Stay safe.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.